Of
Of
course.
course.
And he kind of just runs off into the main building here, which would have been 21-22.
Damn it!
And
I wanted to get Garrett tortured by telling him his sister. I can telling his cousin or sister that he's still alive. I'll have to do that later.
So, which one of us is taking a level in Bard?
At this point,
I
it
don't
might
know.
be Serena. I don't know. Serena suddenly picks up an instrument.
Azul, I think we need to. Azul kind of gets a little smirk on her face. You know what I think? I think when he comes back, I should play the song of his people. And she reaches into a pack and she pulls out the bagpipes of haunting.
Oh, God. Cruelty, my dear Azrael.
All right, and he's kind of in there for. She kind of
Lily's
gets.
gonna like toss her a silver piece. If you do it, there's like 6 more where that's coming from.
Oh my, a whole silver piece. But she's just kind of chuckling at the whole time, and eventually the Dragonborn comes back, and he has, with him, it looks like an older human gentleman. He's got white hair and everything, and the moment the Dragonborn gets within range, he starts to play. And this Dragonborn, he kind of looks at for a second, and he just kind of cringes and just starts turning around in fear. And the other fellow there, he just kind of watches the Dragonborn run away, and he'll look over at the pipes, and he'll kind of just smile. Ah, Pipes of Haunting. A worthy choice, though most of the bards are more interested in entertaining than making people run away.
Well, no harm in a little prank here and there.
Oh, of course not. If the bards were not without our good humor, where would we be?
Probably still climbing the stairs. Anyways, we're here for an important purpose.
Yes. And he'll kind of turn his gaze over and he'll kind of nod the Baron. I do believe we have heard word that you wish to perform Argarak. Is that correct? And the Baron will nod at this. Yes, that is quite the important trial. We will have to set up an area for you. I do believe we have an area down in the forest down below where we could have the trial
We
for
have
you.
to go back down?
Oh, no. And he'll kind of lead the party around. And leading the party around, you're going to be up here on top. And you're going to find it, and it'll come out to the edge of the cliff here and it'll point down to where 10 is. Down there is a trial for the Baron, and that one will be for him alone to complete. However, they did tell you how this works, correct?
Yeah,
And not so many words, but
I'm told that I have to be the one elf to completely obliterate any record the dwarves have ever accomplished.
And this human kind of seems to smirk at this. Oh my, you wish to completely defeat the dwarves at their own game as an elf. That'll make a fine tale.
Don't encourage her.
I was going to say, so how fast have they completed these trials?
Oh, well, the trial depends. Now, you see, we were not... there were difficulties for the most part. The trial for him is simple enough. It has not changed time to time. However, the other trial, the trial of his companions, to see how... Well, I'm sure you know that a ruler is only as good as the one he stands on. Yes?
I heard it was the one he stands with.
Well, it depends. Stands with, stands on, he still needs them.
I'm pretty sure that he'd fail the trial if it was a case of him standing on, but I think I understand what you mean.
Technically, a ruler is only as good as the people that he leads. By definition.
Essentially, yes. So the trial for him is as important, and since you were very obviously the ones that he brought with you, the ones that he does hold in some regard, that means he has enough favor in you that it depends on how well you must do in a trial of yourselves to truly become good at this endeavor.
Now, one thing they never told us is why, in the name of all of the gods, do the bards host this?
Because the bards, my dear, are the ones who keep the lore of ages, centuries, millennia past. We keep it alive. We keep it in everyone's hearts. Do you honestly believe that there is no bit of lore that at least one bard does not know?
Probably.
And he kind of seems insulted when you say that.
What's my middle name?
That's not lore.
It's lore enough.
No, it's not.
Yes, Laura is the correct answer.
Alana's just going to look him right in the eye and say the lore of those who controlled the weather.
My, the lore of the Stormcallers. That is... I am not as fluent in that as some others might be, though most of them are actually down with the Southern College in the forests.
Makes
Was
sense.
that one on top of a giant mountain too?
Oh no, that one is in the middle of the jungle. The only danger there is all the Yangtze and other creatures of the jungles.
You know,
Guys,
poisonous
we're gonna go
vipers.
take
Very
the trial of
militaristic.
Algaroth down there.
Yeah, we could do it here.
Oh no, that one is not even in the Redwall Mountains. That one is far, far away, my dear. I've only made a pilgrimage there once.
Yeah, it takes a couple months.
Oh, at
So-
least.
So how long is the Baron going to be at his trial?
Ah, yes. Well, the Baron's trial will take probably 3 days. Assuming he follows the same regiments that the trial lays out. Yes, it should be no more than 3 days. However, the real problem is that I do not quite have the trial prepared for you. I had sent some gnomes out to investigate a worthy site the moment we heard of this, though I have not heard back from them informing me that the trial site was prepared.
Is there any
This-
chance that they might have been interrupted while setting up the site?
Oh, no, I do not believe so. Well, there should be nothing dangerous in this area.
Well,
Well, we
I'm
did
sure
take care
that
of
you. I'm sure you
Yes.
sent them with a sending stone or something, right? Could you contact them?
I've tried, though there's been no message back since.
So
There's definitely something wrong
Go
there.
rescue
Then.
them.
Well, they're not to send back until they are actually prepared, so...
So effectively, you sent them. Where were they going? Perhaps we should perform a rescue mission.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's an old cave. There is a large mountain that has a river, or a large lake in it, and this lake will occasionally come into this river, setting up the area for the trial, which is in a large cave network. There are several places in there, home or rooms, mansions, a small place to pray, areas to prepare, all things of that sort. I'd set up the trial to have taken place in there.
Well, let's go rescue them. Then you could prepare another trial for us when we get back.
Well, let's hold up. The Baron's going to spend 3 days. If we don't hear back from them, by nightfall or the next day, perhaps then we can make another decision.
Ah, yes, of course. At the very least, you should probably rest. It has been a long journey. I'm sure you would at least like some sort of actual bed versus the bedrolls you have no doubt been sleeping
Yeah.
on.
Serena will, if we do, Serena will take the chance to rest, and if nothing else happens, then if they don't get word back by tomorrow, she'll go out and at least investigate herself.
All right. So then, I believe it is agreed. I will get you all settled in so that maybe get prepared. The actual trial for yourself, and I'll point at the Baron, will not begin until tomorrow anyway. It is not right of us to begin such an arduous trial fresh after a journey.
Before you go, is there anything in this city that you lack that is not up to your, I'm sure, grand expectations?
Lack? I'm not sure I understand what you mean, my dear, and believe me, this is far from a city. They're more of a ruin than anything else.
Yeah, it did look kind of crappy. I mean, I can do smithing stuff, and my friend here can do alchemy stuff, and while we're here, maybe we can help you a little.
Oh, we already have a fine dwarven smith in this area, my dear. You're in the Redwall Mountains. You can't go 10 feet without tripping over a smith.
There
Isn't
wasn't
every
a smith
dwarf
in
a
the...
smith?
Oh yeah, and that reminds me before I get too far along, since I forgot to say this beforehand. One of the items that the Baron would have gotten to pack up to come up would have been Serena's plate mail.
So Serena now has her plate mail.
Yeah, Serena would have had her plate mail. I was going to have that taken care of before you left, but it slipped my mind.
So if
I
there's
mean, it
nothing
didn't really
you,
do anything. So.
Yeah, it didn't really matter, but it's going to matter ahead.
if there's nothing you lack, is there anything you sell?
Well, probably not much that would be that interesting to you, my dear. It's mostly trinkets and instruments for the bards.
How about one very important thing that is always valuable? Information.
Now that is something we do have. What are you looking for?
I'll come back to you on the trinkets.
I'm looking for information on the Temple of Inverted Elements. Perhaps you've heard legends about it.
The Temple of the Inverted Elements.
Weren't you also searching for someone? Maybe that can help. Maybe they can help with that. I mean,
I believe the two are linked, don't worry.
I do not actually know about the temple myself, though I've heard about it in an old tale. You might have to search around to find somebody who knows the stories here.
Point me in the right direction.
You would be better off seeking it out yourself, my dear. It is all the knowledge is in the journey. You can't simply be told everything.
I was
We
just wondering,
could.
Perhaps you knew roughly who would have a rough idea of who to look for.
I apologize, my miss,
You
but I
know
do
about
not.
people here about everything. I don't know. Okay, I'll associate with people. I don't mingle.
now about those trinkets.
And what trinkets are you after, my dear?
Well, I don't know. That bagpipe of haunting thing was pretty cool. By the way, is he okay? Is he gonna come back anytime soon?
I don't think he fell off a cliff. He should be back within, 5 days.
Okay.
I jest. Probably 5 minutes.
on our way
Probably
to
5 years.
on the way to the trial, we're walking along, and then in the middle of the night, we hear someone screaming. "Wah!" As he runs by.
He runs so fast he runs across the world, powered by the power of the bagpipes.
Well, I'm not exactly the greatest at musical instruments, so I probably can't make much use of those. Unless someone's willing to teach me, and it'd only take a day, but that's probably not.
Oh,
Gonna
it
happen.
takes far more than just a day to teach one how to properly play an instrument.
I'm sure. So, what do you have for trinkets? Amulets, necklaces, charms?
Oh, mostly just a few trinkets of hiding. There's a necklace I know that allows a bard to throw it and it will make a loud screech, distracting anyone who might be trying to seek after them.
Excuse me.
I know this is a rather particularly fancy item. It is this strange little pole, and when the bard will throw it on the ground, it will erupt into the size of a lamp post. You know, like a little candle holder. I can't think of the way to describe it. Let's go with
A street lamp.
straight lamp, yes. A tall straight lamp. And by positioning themselves behind this, the bard is able to hide even in plain sight.
Hey, Mara, would that be useful to you?
Mara kind of shake her head. I don't really trust the bard's items. They typically only work for a bard anyway, and I don't have any training or knowledge.
Is there anything that works for people who are not bards? Perhaps, something to keep us safe as we camp at night or anything like that?
I don't believe we have much in the way of that, to be honest. This is a rather remote place. We don't get many travelers here aside from the bards or those who wish to speak to them. We don't have many trinkets for those outside of the teachings of the colleges.
If we were really concerned about that, I do have means to take care of at least 4 of us at any given time.
Yeah. Oh, you silly bards. Do you at least sell spoons?
We do sell spoons,
Okay.
Are they spoony bards?
but they are not with bards, no.
Damn it, my
I'm
reference
sorry.
got pissed.
The only thing I want to ask about is just about the person. I can't remember her name, but Garrett.
It was Bree
Bree.
Greenbottle.
Yeah, Bree Greenbottle.
Oh, Miss Bree, you're speaking to her. Oh, yes, she has made her pilgrimage up to the college for the first time in probably 10 years. I do believe that she is currently down in the main chambers, which would be 19, actually.
Okay.
So, how many bards never make it up here? Like, they try, but they can't make it.
actually, a far number more of them make it than you would expect. Well, even look behind you. And as you look behind you, you see a rather ridiculous sight. There is a man who's sitting on the back of what you can only imagine to be an awakened bear. And he's playing a banjo.
Is he a bard or a druid?
You don't actually know. You can make probably the guess that the bear might be part druid, but you don't know.
Class.
Well, can you point me at least in the direction of your historical archives?
You'd probably be best off checking out in the room up over there, and a point at 18, which is probably going to be where the records are kept.
All right, well, then I am going to be busy for a while. Don't mind me.
Lily's gonna stick her head over the edge there, yell down to the bard going up, "You can do it! You're doing great!"
And as you kind of cheer him on, you can see him kind of start playing a little faster.
Oh god.
All right, well, Falana's leaving the group temporarily.
All right, so it was about noon when you got there, so you have the time to do this little investigation and stuff. Do you want to find Bree first?
Earth.
Yep. Surina can. The others don't have to follow her at all.
Yeah, Zul
Lily will
probably
go
gonna.
with Bree.
Yeah, Zul will probably kind of wander around and look around. She's probably gonna check to find somebody who's actually very good at playing pipes because she's kind of a novice at it. She knows how, but she doesn't know how like a bard knows how.
Lily will go with Surina because she's got nothing better to do here. Evidently, no one has a shop.
They have shops, but they don't really have shop. Like they have shops, they don't have shops.
They don't have
shops.
shops.
Stores instead of specialized shops that you'd find in the town.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
they
they probably
most
like
likely
food
have.
and like they probably have food. They have a few hunters around that might gather supplies for them.
They might have a flea market, but that's probably the best you're going to get at Bard College.
All right, and you go up to the south building there, 19, to try to find Bree. And walking inside, you can see that this entire place, first of all, it's loud, incredibly loud, and it's very easy to see why. There are groups of musicians and some actual bards all over the place, playing various instruments, harps, drums, sitars, guitars, lutes, flutes, everything you can think of, they're playing it.
Does it sound like an orchestra tuning up?
It sounds like a beautiful mess.
I'm gonna try something. Lily's gonna step up to the center of the group, take out. I'm sure she's got a stick or torch, I guess. She's gonna tap it on something as if she's gonna conduct. Tap tap, and raise her hands up. What
Roll
happens?
performance.
All right, I'm going to AFK for a little while. I need to go take care of something.
Oh my god!
And as you go through this, and as you start to do this, this beautiful mess that once was starts to turn into this beautifully orchestrated sound as everything starts to fall in line playing the same song. It sounds absolutely amazing.
Lily's increase the tempo a little bit.
Roll another performance.
Oh, Jesus.
And as you keep playing, you increase the tempo, and a few people start to fall out of place, and as that happens, a rotten tomato hits you in the back of the head.
Why?
She's gonna cut everyone off, and then she's gonna bow.
And as she bows, a box of rotten tomatoes is dropped on her from above.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And she's going to rejoin Surina. That was lovely.
And the head bard there, Other, is kind of laughing his head off. I see you found our box of enchanted rotten tomatoes.
She's gonna pick some enchanted rotten tomatoes out of her hair. Yeah, they don't smell good.
Oh, of course not. They're self-throwing tomatoes, actually. It's very impressive.
All right, I'm AFKing. I'm going away now.
All right.
Just assume Falana's doing research.
Yep, and you were going out to try to find Bree with Surina.
Yep.
Yeah, so Serena's going to lead that off trying to find Bree.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let's narrow this down to all of the halflings, and you're able to find a halfling woman who looks kind of like Garrett, like maybe a family resemblance. And you go up and you ask her for her name, and she says, "Yes, I'm Bree Greenbottom. What are you?"
Serena, Carhighland Serena. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. So, what can I do for you? Want a good
Well,
story, a tale, maybe a. Well, how you tell me what you want then?
Well, I came to discuss two different things with you. I suppose one could be considered payment for the other. For the first, I'm sure any bard worth her salt knows about the Flying Island. Yes.
Yes, the Flying Island. Such a interesting place for sure.
I'm currently gathering as much information about it as possible. Anything you know from how people have gotten up there to conditions of what they found when trying to get up there to things that they found while actually up there would help.
Well, I know several of the things that they found are actually mechanical beasts, like armor, not even armor per se, but like actual beasts that are made out of machine. Like I know some people when they get close, they run into artificial birds of some sort, which have tried to stop them. Not that when the storm itself is not enough.
Lily's gonna reach in the bag of holding and bring out the core.
And she'll kind of look it over. What is this?
You were talking about a mechanical beast. We ran into one along our journey, and we extracted this from it.
Oh my, a mechanical beast. Can you tell me everything about it?
And she does so.
All right, so you recount the tale. And she's like,
And she'll show the plate with the sigil on it as well.
and she'll kind of look over the plate with the sigil, though she kind of nods a little bit. This sigil is strange. I've heard nothing of this, but what you told me of the beast, it matches fairly similarly to what I've heard. And you said it attacked, like, made this huge cloud of fog that hit in, like this miasma. That sounds very much like a tale I've heard someone say as they fled from one of their checks up there.
And then it hit me out of nowhere. I didn't even see it coming. It was like I wasn't even here. I mean,
yes.
it hurt.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Is there anything else you'd like to know about that?
Sorry, something came up. I lost track of the conversation. So the design on the thing is
She
what?
hasn't actually seen the sigil before. She made the comment that there were mechanical beasts constructs up there on the island that she has heard talk of, and that it does match the description somewhat of the fog beast which you have faced.
Lily
Okay.
put the items back in the bag of holding.
All right.
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. Do you know of any common way that people get up to the island by themselves, or is there just whatever gets you up there in one piece?
It's usually whatever gets you up there, though it has always been difficult. I know most have tried using magic, be it if they fly up with, say, I don't know, an actual wizard who is skilled enough to lift an entire party up, or if they were to get, say, hippogriffs or griffins, or even a Pegasus to fly up there, though most of those are not too keen to be flying at those heights. I know a few people have tried to use a rock, and if you're able to tame one, it has been most reliable to get up there. It's very hard to stop a rock in flight.
Question, isn't there some sort of magic that lets you just kind of poof up there? Why haven't they set that up?
There is something odd about the island, I do believe, that makes it so that you can't teleport up there. At least that's what I assume. I haven't heard any stories of it, though, to be honest, if you could just teleport past all these dangers, that would kind of defeat the mystery of getting there.
What is it with you guys in the journey? I just want to do the stuff.
And she's just gonna kind of laugh at this.
Because having a good story about the journey and the destination and the adventure had there makes it so you can have more stories in general.
Yeah,
Yes,
but-
she understands exactly what we mean.
But if you get up there and you come back, think about how rich you could be by selling these tales to all the people.
But what tale would we have? There needs to be more to it than just that, miss, and you honestly do not understand how much the journey means in a story. There are 3 acts to most stories for a reason.
Why would you have an axe in a story? Anyways, there was something else that Serena wanted to mention? Maybe?
I suppose that's as much information that we're going to get out of this. The other thing is just something I have possibly good news for you. Do you know a Garrett Greenbottle?
Yes, he's my brother. Why do you bring him up?
He's very much alive in a town called Ashenport on the northeast coast.
I'm sure we've got a map, so Lily's going to take it out and
Yeah.
point at the map where it is.
And Lily like takes the map out and points at it, and she's not even looking at it, and she's just kind of still staring forward, and you eventually hear her slam down her wooden mug. That no good lying little scumbag! He has shoved my mother onto me to take care of her by myself while he hid off alone for all these years. Oh, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind.
Lily's going to interrupt. She's going to say, actually, he was stuck in a temple for 30 years.
That is no excuse.
Which to him felt like 3 days.
No excuse.
Which I hear was almost impossible for him to escape from alive.
No excuse.
It's good
He
to get
also
back
was
at him.
really terrible at cards.
Yes, well, he's always been terrible at cards. Why do you think he cheats all the time? Ah, that little... Yeah! And she kind of storms off at that point.
Right. I don't think that was really good payment.
She knows her brother is alive, and now she gets to take out all of the bottled up feelings she had on him. It's wonderful. Serena's mean. Serena can be mean.
Well, I'm guessing that her pilgrimage is close to an end, so perhaps
As you
we
can
should meet
kind
up
of see as she storms away, the entire room has gone deathly quiet as every single bard is staring at you. And there's a few who have like pieces of parchment out as they're writing down things.
Could we have someone play a dirge?
And at that request, there are
Everybody pulls out
probably
an item.
seven of the various people in here start getting up and they play a slow, mournful dirge at your request.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That did
Music makes everything better.
that did my heart some good. I needed that.
She was fun.
Is she gonna be okay? Anyone want to check her? No? Okay. Maybe we should just leave.
All right. So, is Risu back?
I don't think so.
like
but
it.
she was just gonna go check out information on
All
the
right.
thing.
What was Alana gonna do?
I don't know. I ended up going to the bathroom when you mentioned what things were going on.
Yeah, so you
Well, I went to
basically
the-
have a choice of what you want to do for the afternoon since you're not leaving out to the next day, so the chance to relax, look around.
Probably just go to the library and read things for fun. Like,
Well, all right, so you're going to be with Falana then. In the library itself, it's not like a proper library as what you're used to. There are several books there, though most of them are stories.
yeah.
But of course, just because they're stories, it doesn't mean they're lies or works of fiction. Most of them are true, at least to some extent. So, like, anything in particular you're looking for, or you just research?
Not even just research, just read the stories.
Yep.
Find some that just pique her interest, I guess.
All right, and I don't expect you to have too much trouble doing that. I mean, you're probably in one of the biggest reservoirs of bardic knowledge in the area, though at some point, one of the bards will walk up and ask, "Oh, you're enjoying the stories? Perhaps would you be willing perhaps to share your story yourself? Give back to the wealth of knowledge that you're taking from us."
I am not one who is fit to make up stories.
Oh, you don't need to make up a story, perhaps. Have you not encountered anything strange or odd in your time?
I
Not
guess I
really.
should say one that cannot make up stories, but one that cannot fit something together to be a good story.
Roll persuasion.
Oop. One.
And the bard just kind of shakes it. Oh, that can't possibly be true. I mean, everybody has some story to their life. There must be something you could tell us.
Tell them about when Azul looked up Lily's panties.
No. Get out of my ears. Get out of my ears.
The ghost of Lily's perversions, get out of my head.
Alana's just probably going to sit there and think for a minute and then just say, well, what kind of story would you rather have? What kind of story would you like? Just name and type.
Oh, do you have like a story of any adventurers or adventures? You do look young, but you have an air about you as though you've been through enough in your short time. I suppose you have possibly maybe some humor stories as well. Either or might be nice to know.
Alana's just going to sit there and think for a minute, and then I'm trying to think of how to word
You can
what
just,
I want to say.
like, say what story you're telling.
I know that's what I'm trying to do. Word how she would say it, not the story itself, but what the story is.
Yeah.
Here's one that I heard from somebody a while ago, and then she'll just give a brief story of like what happened to her that set her off on the adventure.
All right. So the things that happened to the Stormcallers and running away, eventually getting captured by those bandits.
Yeah.
That is quite the tale. And how did it end? Did the person get free, or were they still a member of the bandits? Or captured by the bandits?
It just ends there. I think it's supposed to be you come up with your own ending.
Those are not always the best of stories, though perhaps we could make up a more fulfilling ending towards the end. There is a wealth of information. There's a good sort of information there. Betrayal and the sort. I think we
Indeed.
might be able to do something with that. Thank you.
No problem.
You really could have just told him about Zul looking up Lily's panties. I've been fine.
I know, but I just kind of wanted to make it something more interesting than just, hey, this happened.
I could have had the rowdy limerick playing in the background, but I didn't.
Can the rest of the group kind of enter at this point and look around?
Yeah, I'm going to say you can.
Is there any sort of, how do I word this, a story that would be suitable for Lily's intelligence level?
So you mean Farmer Brown?
I mean, Jack and Jill went up a hill. No, anything that would interest her, keeping in mind she doesn't like to read much. Pictures?
She's probably going to be able to find more of like a... I'm trying to think what she might find that might interest her. I can see there being in one place a story of like a knight basically went off to fight a dragon, and the way the words are shaped, like the paragraphs are shaped as though it was kind of the encounter itself, and there were some pictures of it. But I can't think of anything that she would really particularly be enthralled with, since she's not very read heavy. Like we could throw a dictionary at Elana and she would be happy.
Lily's gonna call for someone. She doesn't know the rules of libraries. She's gonna say, "Hey, does anyone have a story to tell?"
And Lily might not know the rules of libraries, but this is not a library. And at her call, 5 people come out to meet her, instruments in hand.
The person with the best story gets a. Don't have a lot of money. Gets. gets
And when
10
you say don't have a lot of money, they start
No.
to walk away.
That was out of character. Gets 10 platinum pieces.
I'm back.
What are you doing now?
And the 5 of them start to look together. They kind of make a little discussion, and they end up splitting it off into 3 teams, two teams of 2, and the last one by himself, as they all start to play for Lily's attention. And I'm not going to go through whatever they're telling her, because I'm going to cover up with Risu and Falana.
All right. I already took the 10 platinum out. So.
All right.
And thus we are reminded that Silver is a wise DM.
And thus
I'm
you're
ready.
reminded I have nothing prepared.
You can tell me what they said out of stream.
All right. So Falana, she was looking around in the library.
Records.
So, what are you looking for exactly?
She is looking for anything and everything that may be related to the Temple of Inverted Elements that they may have in historical records.
All right. So roll an investigation.
We have a without advantage with we researched her background.
You can roll it with advantage, because this isn't a normal library, but you know that this is a lot of useful information.
Not like it would have mattered.
All right, and then you're wandering around. You eventually do
How
manage
do
to stumble across a ballad from ages past, and it's actually written in Elvish, which is the first thing that kind of draws your interest to it. And it's basically going over telling of a tale in an ancient kingdom made this temple to pay respect to the four different elements. The four main elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. And it was great for some glorious time as they managed to make a glorious kingdom around themselves, worshipping at this temple always, until eventually a ruler got greedy and tried to use the temple to take more than he properly should have. And when he did so, all of their abilities, like they had various mages that would they had various mages with like fire abilities or what have you, stuff like that. And when he stepped too far, something like there was a loud echo from where the temple sat, and everything seemed reversed. The people who once flew around in the air suddenly sunk down to the bottom as though the very air fought against them. People who were used to walking on the firmest ground started to sink into it. Water burnt and just blew through everything it tried to go through, and fire just died out or became cold when people tried to use it to stay warm. Kingdom eventually fell, disappearing into the abysses of time. Like, nobody even knows what this kingdom was called or anything of that sort. And the only thing that remains left of them is the city itself, though perhaps cursed by the king who overstepped his bounds.
Is there a city up there? Interesting. Alright, you know what? I am going to make a copy of this ballad. I'm not going to take it because they may make a song of it eventually.
All right.
I'm just going to make a copy of it. And I could ask around at main hall, see if anyone recognizes it, see if there's any extensions to it that they may not be aware of.
All right. Okay. And is there anything else that Surina was going to do, or?
Nah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty clear that we've got all the information, that she's not gonna find any more information without actually trying it herself now, unless some new person.
I need to get another cup of coffee now.
God damn it, Riso! I was gonna have you go next and finish you off.
Oh, then go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna have you go back to the main chamber, talk with the people, finish that off, and move on to the next day.
Continue with Surina, then I'll wait.
Surina has nothing.
Yeah, I've got nothing. There's nothing else Serena really needs to do besides maybe just walk around and help somebody. So,
Silver, I gotta go in like 5 minutes. Just
Yep.
So for the rest of the time, Lily is just going to listen to the stories, and after that, she's going to tell her own exaggerated tale of what's happened, leaving out anything that seems sensitive.
All right. You might start into the dungeon this session. You might not. I don't know yet.
I actually have a question on that one, Jeeps, real quick. Are you going to start literally with the bandits, or just the adventure that they've been on at this point?
Well, she didn't hear Elana's story, so she would have started with bandits probably.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. All right.
All right, I gotta go. Well, soon. I can stay for a few more minutes.
You can head out whenever. Really, it is not that important to me at this point, since we have everything taken care of there, and I'm already running everything. So what does it matter too much? So much I'm running. All right. So is Risa here to get coffee?
No, I'm gonna wait.
All right. So you're headed back to the main chamber to talk to people there and try to find out things with the story. Roll. Yeah, roll investigation.
Wrong character sheet.
And actually roll a
Thank
history
you.
and well.
Okay, so both.
Actually, yeah, just
Doesn't
history.
matter.
Just history.
Well, it's the same roll. It doesn't matter. I have the same
Perfect.
modifier.
Perfect. All right. So looking around, you're checking with the history of the overhearing people tell the stories. So you're checking the history with that among this, etc. You're sharing some of the details around, and you don't actually find anyone here who knows that tale. Nobody here knows that ballad.
I wonder why an elf recording of that would be hero. That's the question. Was there any elven bards in this college at one point.
There are like a few elven bards in here currently, and looking back at the like back in that lore room, there were writings in every language. Like you get the feeling that some of the writings you see were in Orcish. So they
Was this
apparently did
one
not discriminate in where they got the sources from, more that they
okay?
had
Did this one
the
seem
lore
like
itself.
an original?
Hmm?
Did this one look like an original?
You're not sure. All you know is that it's incredibly old.
Okay, well, it's difficult to tell. All right. Well, I guess that stands as going to be our only tip. All right, I can work with it.
All right. And that'll pretty much be the end of the day, so everyone gets to rest up finally as night falls. You're also all back at full health. You had at least had a full rest or a long rest between now and then. So if you're not at full health, put yourself at full health. And come back to main chambers. There's like not the main chambers. I'm gonna go with. They'll probably lead you to one of the side chambers. I think I haven't used 20 yet, so they'll lead you over to where 20 is, which is kind of like a area for guests to come in, which it kind of makes sense. It's the first room you come across when you get to the top of the stairs, and that's where they throw all their guests. And you come in there, and they kind of just make a little small talk with you, and the head bard, Othar, comes over again. He says, "Ah, yes. How have you all been enjoying your stay here at the Bard College?"
I did find out some information that could be of use.
Yes, and information is our forte.
I entered in a productive trade, getting some information I needed, and instigated a wonderful opportunity for two siblings to find each other after so long.
And Othar is just smirking at this as he nods, but he doesn't say anything more.
I conducted an orchestra.
Yes, you still have some tomato in your hair.
Oh. No, my hair's just red now. It's dyed this way now.
And he pulls out a tomato from your hair.
How did that get there?
She died at the tomato.
He'll chuckle more. Now then, I do realize that this is your rather desiring to get back to your own homeland there. And he's turned to the Baron at this point. And we will try to do what we can to speed you through this. And he looks at the group and says, we also have not heard anything back from the group I sent out there to prepare the trial sites. So, even if I hear back tomorrow, I'm still going to send you out there myself, or send you out there to take care of things, and we will go from there. I hope there are no complaints with that.
None whatsoever.
Since our trial itself wasn't prepared, I don't feel this is a worthy enough challenge to surpass the dwarves. However, we will perform a rescue mission if need be.
Oh, we'll leave that to be decided as when you come back. You may never know what may happen.
Do we get extra credit for saving your bard people?
Kind of chuckle at that. Oh, perhaps. But yes, we never know. You might come back with a grand expedition of fighting everyone and rescuing them from, a dragon even. Or they may have just dropped the sending stone in a river and not be able to respond.
Dragons are nothing. We've taken them down before.
Actually, have you?
No.
Bold-faced lie.
Yep. Yes, of course. You do seem a rather capable group, I do admit. I do not expect the trial should be very difficult for you.
Of course.
Kind of just smile at that. Well, if that's all taken care of, I would like to get some playing in myself, so I will see you all tomorrow. Good day. And he'll kind of walk off.
All right.
Is there an orphanage or where there's a whole bunch of kids nearby, or some sort of taking care of young children? Seeing that this is a bard college and there's a lot of bards around.
I'm going to say 7 and 8 would be, and the kids like to play in the hedge maze, which is 9.
Yeah, I figured. Probably Lily's just gonna go down and spend some time with the kids for the fun of it.
All right.
You realize we're going to be leaving through one anyway, most likely.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, leaving tomorrow.
Yeah. So she's just gonna. That's how she's spending her evening.
All right.
And with that, I gotta go.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
All right then. So back to this because we're still probably going to go for at least a half hour, probably longer. Is there anything else you're going to do for the night, or are you all going to kind of retire for now?
Serena's probably
Retire
good.
for now.
All right,
Yeah.
She might have started. She might have done some cooking, but
I'm not. I
yeah,
wouldn't
let's
figure that
just
much.
not.
All right. So you kind of all taken into small little chambers. There's like somewhat beds on the ground and everything for y'all to rest in. You get a nice night's sleep, considering you have a proper roof over your head for once. And you wake up in the morning. And you wake up in the morning, and the Baron is once again awake first, and he is out there already speaking to the chief bard, author, whatever. And as you all eventually kind of get mingled together and head up towards him, he turns around and greets you. Yes, welcome. Well, regrettably, we have not heard yet back from the group we sent out, so I shall simply have to send you on your way there. And he'll point out a map, and he'll point out on the map where you're supposed to go, and it is very close along the path to where you came up along, so it shouldn't be very hard for you to find.
Okay.
Now then,
Simple enough.
before you head out, we'd simply like to make sure things are taken care of. It's just formalities, and he kind of seems annoyed when he says this. You know how it is. We must deal with things. If this is to be done properly, we must do it correctly. So I would assume that would make sense. Now then, so you all are decreeing that you will be going out on the companions portion of the trial of Argarak in favor of this man here, and he points over at the Baron.
Yes.
Yep.
And obviously Lily will, of course, nod, because she wouldn't. Azul will nod, and Mara just kind of shrug nods with Lily. She kind of nods with Lily, yeah. And it's like, excellent. And you here, you accept that these will represent you in the trial up ahead. And the Baron will nod as well. Yes, I would not have brought them along if I did not feel them competent. Excellent. Excellent. Now then, I shall take you down to where your trial is to begin. What is it, 5 of them? 6 of them. The 6 of you, feel free to head out and begin your little expedition. I assume you have plenty of supplies and food laid out, and it'll kind of motion to a number of packs which have been prepared. This will be what we are giving you to aid you on your journey. We hope to see you back with a successful story to tell. Good day.
All right. Serena's gonna head out.
Alright.
All right, and
Our
you walk
prayer.
out. Yeah, you head out again. And as the group of you are all heading out, it's another decent ways back. You are no longer. Come on. Damn it. Map. Work with me.
What is a map?
What is a map? And as
What
you
is a
all
map?
head back.
Dum, 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 dum.
And I gotta move everyone there. You'll head back to very, very familiar areas as you wander around.
Wait, this was supposed to be it?
Very familiar areas as you walk back. In fact, according to the directions you're given, the entrance to this cave should be right around here.
They got eaten by the steam dragon.
Actually, it's possible. You know what? Let's
Is it
tie
behind
off
the
rope.
tent by any chance?
You do
Actually,
actually know that the roar you heard initially was coming from up around here somewhere before it jumped down.
Why don't we tie up a rope and climb down here?
Azul will kind of support that idea. You tie up
Sure.
the rope, I'll meet you down there. And she jumps. And she
You know
ignores
what?
the damage.
We toss her a
Oh,
rope. and
monks
make
are
sure
amazing.
It's solid down there. We could tie it up here.
And she'll nod. Yep. And as you throw the rope down, she ties it off to the tree right here to make sure it's good. And a lot of you start your climb down, and she's already looking around.
Sure. So we can all just head down there.
Yeah, you can all head down to this little area here as Azul's looking around.
Go beans.
And I'll move Lily down as well, because now I control Lily.
Alright, and first things first, investigate the entire area over here.
Yep, investigate this entire ledge.
No mercy.
Investigation.
I'm not gonna roll after that one from Falana.
Yeah,
But
I'll
I
use that
should
one. So,
anyway.
Falana, you investigating, you determine that right here, there appears to be a illusionary wall. And moving through it, you find the entrance to a cave.
Yay! That was simple.
All right, now everyone don't move. I said everyone don't move.
I was already moving when you said that.
Yep. I don't have anyone on... Damn, I gotta move them on this screen.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure we're all grouped at least.
Yeah, I gotta actually move everyone onto this map because I don't have you on the map.
Good job.
There we go. So, I hope I have lighting taken care of.
And
It's
before
a
you
dark
don't.
cave. Is anyone going to light a torch, or does Serena have light?
I have the light cantrip.
Serena and Elana both have light, so Serena's
Alright, I'm going to assume Serena's going to put light on her something.
on her shield, probably.
Yeah, is Elana going to put light on anything?
Sure.
All
I mean,
right.
everybody else has dark vision, so they don't really need it, but...
Mara does.
Mara doesn't, but
Oh,
Mara
right.
can deal. Has sight. Has sight, yes. Has sight, yes. Alright, so let me... Now the map actually loads. I can totally hear Mez.
Yep.
Alright. And you will all be in the lower left corner of this map. It might take a second to load.
Lower left, you said?
Yeah, lower left.
There we are.
Found us.
Alright. And you pretty much have a free reign to wander around for the time being.
Well, first things first, be obvious. We're going to investigate this thing.
Stay behind the tank.
Yeah, what does this look like?
That looks like a wealth of supplies, to be honest.
What
Uh,
supplies?
The
Like
text
travel
does have
supplies,
loaded
just
for me.
crates with food and such in it.
The
Does it
text
look
just
like it
loaded
may have-
for me. So,
Does it look recent?
It looks fairly recently.
Second obvious thing I want to investigate.
I'm waiting for someone to address the elephant in the room.
Over here.
I didn't actually see that because I was too far scrolled down.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to address the elephant in the room.
Right here was the highest I saw. So I'm like,
All
I
right,
don't see anything
and
up there.
Falana, in this room, as you walk over, you see that there is a corpse on the ground. It looks somewhat fresh. It is a gnome who is in full armor, and the only the reason you found him so easily, he has a very bright torch laying on the ground next to him.
Take the torch, investigate the body.
The
See if
body
there's-
itself appears to have been cut open by various blades. And
He
you
was
take the torch
actually
with you?
actively attacked. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not actually a torch, by the way. It's a lantern, not a torch.
I can cover it.
So you're covering the lantern?
Yeah, I can put in the bag folding.
All right. What layer did I leave the torch on? I left it on this layer.
We don't need it.
All right. So you're gonna try to put it out before you put it in the bag of holding?
Yes.
You can't.
Okay, then it's magical. You know what? Is it hot to the touch?
It feels like as you go to touch it, it can burn you. You
You know
feel
what?
like if you were to especially try to smack someone with it, it would actually burn them pretty well.
Give it to Alana.
Why me?